What's good, everybody? My name is Cole and welcome back to another video. And today I got a special video for you guys, the NFL mock draft, my 2.0 mock draft. And right now we're literally 3 weeks away from the playoffs, and we're kind of feeling out where everybody's gonna be picking in this draft. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. But let's go ahead. We're doing one round every single team. Let's go ahead and start with the New York Jets. Now, New York Jets, obviously, it's a no-brainer. Get Trevor Lawrence here. It just makes the most sense right now. And, it's going to be absolutely great. Getting the franchise quarterback, getting a generational quarterback in this draft. And, just put pieces around him. This guy, is going to be very good. I don't think Sam Darnold's the guy, but he could be somewhere else. But that's it there for the New York Jets. Getting the best player available in your need. Next, the Justin Fields going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Again, they need a quarterback. Gardner Minshew's obviously not the guy. Mike Glenn's not the guy. And, getting that quarterback, maybe they could win a few more games with the actually competent quarterback. They got some good receivers. They got an okay offensive line. They got a young defense that's up and coming, I feel like. Just get some more pieces right there. And this could eventually, maybe 2-3 years, could be a playoff team once again. But get Justin Fields here. Next, the Cincinnati Bengals. Get Penei Sewell. Penei Sewell, he can do everything. Jack of all trades at the offensive tackle. Protect Joe Burrow. Obviously, he's out with ACL injury, ACL tear. You got to be able to protect him. If you want to move him to the right side, you can, or you want to go ahead and just keep him on the left side and protect Joe Burrow. And I just think right there, it's the best pick, obviously, and that's a need for them. So next, the Dallas Cowboys are now on the clock, and I think right here they go Patrick Surtain, cornerback out of Alabama. Get Trevon Diggs, then you got Patrick Surtain, two cornerbacks that played with each other at Alabama, and hopefully there's the chemistry there, and I just think that makes the most sense. Their secondary is absolutely atrocious, and their defense is atrocious, but at least they got some competent linebackers, and their defensive line's not too bad, but it's just really that secondary that's holding them back the most, and getting them another guy who can line up on the other side of the outside, I think is going to be great for the Dallas Cowboys. Now next, not the San Diego Chargers, the Los Angeles Chargers. Where are they going to go here? They can go a lot of places here. Obviously the Melvin Ingram situation. Are they going to let him go, or are they going to re-sign him? They could go linebacker here in Micah Parsons. They could go receiver. I don't see it, at least right now, at receiver. But they could go Gregory Rousseau or Kwity Paye, whoever you believe is the better edge. This is actually a very hard pick. It's either between Micah Parsons and Gregory Rousseau, in my opinion, right here. You could also go cornerback at this position, but I think we will be having, I think they'll go to cheaper option here at edge rusher, and that is Gregory Rousseau. Let Melvin Ingram walk, get someone to put next to Nick Bosa, and you guys got a solid edge rushing right there. Now the Carolina Panthers are now on the clock, and you know what? There you can go a lot of here. You could go Caleb Farley at cornerback, and you can go edge to put next to Brian Burns, or you could go Micah Parsons. And I think they go best player available, and they go need is linebacker. Fill that role of Luke Kuechly with Micah Parsons, and you got yourself a pretty good linebacker to really help out your young defense. Obviously now you have Brian Burns, Derek Brown, then you have Micah Parsons, and you also have Jeremy Chinn, which is pretty good defense and young up and coming. Next, the Atlanta Falcons are now on the clock. They could go a lot of places here. They could go receiver, Julio Jones is getting up there, maybe the new regime comes in and is like, hey, we want to go ahead and just trade you. I don't think that's going to happen. They could go cornerback, could go edge, could go receiver. They can go a lot of places here. But I will have them going edge. They could even go quarterback. I'm going to have them going edge Kwity Paye. They need an edge rusher. Obviously, they let go of whoever his name is. Vic Beasley, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's his name. I think that's who it was. They let go of him at the edge. They just haven't been able to find good edge rusher. And getting there, Kwity Paye, I think, is a great edge rusher for them. And boom, they just hit with a pretty good edge. Next, the Dolphins are now on the clock, and this is obviously the trade from the Houston Texans with the Laramie Tunsil trade. And I will have the Miami Dolphins go Jamar Chase. They need a receiver. Preston Williams, obviously, I don't think he's the guy. I think he can be their third receiver. They get Jamar Chase. He's going to be the number one. And then you have Devontae Parker as the number two. And, probably put Preston Williams as their number three receiver. And you got a good receiving core, pretty solid receiving core for Tua and this Dolphins offense. Now, next, the Philadelphia Eagles are now on the clock. They could go a lot of places here. They could go Jalen Waddle. They could go Caleb Farley. I mean, heck, they possibly could go quarterback, but I don't think they will. They could even go tackle also. But I think right here, they'll go Caleb Farley, cornerback from Virginia Tech. Great guy, great player. He did opt out this season, so we're not going to be able to see him in his senior year, but he already declared for the draft. So Caleb Farley, fix that cornerback position, put him next to Darius Slay, and you guys got a better secondary just off that. Next, the New York Giants are on the clock. They're right there fighting for that possibly 19th overall spot in the draft. Obviously not fighting for it, but fighting for the playoffs, as the Washington football team right now has, the lead. So, but if they're right here at 10 or maybe 11, who are they going to go with is, it's very interesting to see. I don't think they'll take a quarterback here. But I do have them going Jalen Waddle, receiver out of Alabama. Get somebody next to Darius Slayton and somebody else. I forgot his name. Oh my gosh. But, probably get yourself a number one receiver right there in Jalen Waddle, in the second best receiver in this draft. And, get next to Darius Slayton, who's a number 2, and the other guy is obviously also number 2. Get you a number 1 receiver, and then boom, you got, as your number 3 receiver is going to be a solid number 2 receiver, and you guys have a good receiving core. Next, the Detroit Lions are on the clock. They could go quarterback, they could go tackle. They can go a lot of places here. They could go edge with Joseph Asai. They can even go cornerback again, but I don't think they will. But right here, I do have them taking Devontae Smith, receiver, the second receiver out of Alabama, going back-to-back. Get someone next to Kenny Golladay. And heck, even if Kenny Golladay leaves this, you're going to need a receiver. And getting Devontae Smith right there is going to be a great pickup for the Detroit Lions right there. And, you got yourself a good receiver, put him next to Kenny Golladay, or you could eventually be your number 1 receiver. Next, the San Francisco 49ers are now on the clock. They can go a lot of places here. They could go offensive line, they can go cornerback, because, there's rumors that Richard Sherman may not be coming back. But I think right here, you're looking, they could go quarterback. And, with the pick available, I think they're going to go quarterback, and I think they'll go Trey Lance here. From North Dakota State, have him, 1 year probably behind, have him behind Jimmy Garoppolo, as, you got right there. And now the Denver Broncos are now on the clock. They go a lot of places here. They could go quarterback if they don't believe Drew Lock's the guy. They could go off the tackle, they could go cornerback possibly, but I do have them going offensive tackle and Samuel Cosmi. Get yourself a tackle if you want to put him on the right or left, whatever you want to do with that. And it just helps out your offensive line, gives whoever the quarterback is enough time to throw the ball, and you got yourself a pretty good solid, probably the second best tackle in this draft. Now, the Vikings are now on the clock, and I think they do need offensive line help, and they could go quarterback here also, but I will have them going offensive line help. And that's in Christian Darrisaw, tackle out of Virginia Tech. You let go of Riley Reiff, and you bring in now a Darrisaw, who probably going to be your tackle for the future, for at least for now, and see what happens with him. So there you go, Vikings. You guys got its tackle. Next, the New England Patriots are now on the clock. I do have them going Kyle Pitts, the probably best tackle, tight end in this draft, and they really do need a tight end. I don't think whoever they got. I think Asai is his name, and I think somebody else. 2 late round tight ends that they drafted, they necessarily haven't worked out. But get yourself a possibly top 10 talent in this draft at number 15 with Kyle Pitts, and I think that would work out great for the New England Patriots. Get yourself the next Gronk, necessarily, if you know what I mean. Get yourself a next beast at tight ends to really help out your quarterback in that receiving core. Now, the Chicago Bears are on the clock. They can go, a lot of places, possibly offensive line, possibly, quarterback. But I will have them going quarterback here for Zach Wilson. They need a quarterback back in future. Mitch Trubisky isn't going to be the guy. Nick Foles obviously is not going to be the guy. Get yourself the quarterback of the future. And Zach Wilson, you want to go ahead and start him right away, go ahead. Or possibly maybe start Nick Foles, and then possibly in the middle of the season, let Zach Wilson start. And, get yourself a quarterback right there for the Chicago Bears. Next, the Los Angeles Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders. They can go a lot of places here. And, you know, they can go edge, they can go corner, they can go receiver. And, you know, I will have them going edge and Joseph Asai. Get yourself someone next to, you know, Mason Crosby and who else they drafted? That flip their Clelin Ferrell. They drafted him 2 years ago. And, you know, get yourself an edge and Joseph Asai to help out your defense there. And, you know, the Raiders are looking pretty good. Obviously, they just fired their defensive coordinator. Get your defense a little bit better and get Joseph Asai right here. Next, the Baltimore Ravens. You know, they could go a lot of places. They could have gone edge. They could go edge here. But, you know, it's going to be very interesting. But I do have them going Rashad Bateman, receiver out of Minnesota, as this is going to be our fourth receiver off the board. Get someone next to Marquise Brown. You know, he hasn't looked good this year. And he's been really disappointing. So get yourself another receiver right here and possibly get yourself a better receiving core for Lamar Jackson to really work. Now next, the Washington football team is now on the clock. You know, there's a lot of places they can go. They can go quarterback and Kyle Trask. You know, they can go linebacker, they can go receiver. Really depends, you know, what they do in free agency. Because obviously, you know, there's rumors that, hey, maybe they do go with Alex Smith another year. Maybe they trade for Sam Darnold, you know, or they just draft a quarterback. But I think the position right there, I think they go Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, linebacker from Notre Dame. Now, I'm a Washington fan, you know, and I'm not the biggest fan of Kyle Trask necessarily, and I don't think the organizations, you know, I think they're going to learn from what happens with Dwayne Haskins. I'm not saying Kyle Trask might turn out to be a Dwayne Haskins. He easily can. But it's just that, you know, he's not as mobile. And I think with what comes to Washington, you're going to need a mobile guy to, you know, somewhat get out of the pocket. And obviously, with Kyle Trask available, he's not the guy. So get a linebacker. Get your linebacker of the future. Put him probably next to Cole Holcomb. And, you know, get yourself a fast and speedy good linebacker, and that's really what they need, honestly, because John Bostic, he's not the guy. He's slow. Next, the Arizona Cardinals are now on the clock. They could go corner. They can go a lot of places here. Cornerback, they could go inside defensive line. They can go offensive line. Right here, I will have, you know, we're looking at the cornerbacks. And go cornerbacks later, and possibly maybe a Paulson Adebo. It's going to be hard, honestly, to pick. Do they go J.C. Horn right here, or they could possibly go maybe Jay Tufule. But I think right here, I'm going to have them go quarterback here and J.C. Horn. Get someone next to Byron Murphy. Obviously, Patrick Peterson isn't the future. He's getting older. You know, he's been okay, but you can really upgrade there with J.C. Horn. I think right there, that's the best pick right there. Now, the Miami Dolphins are now on the clock. And right here, I have them going running back Travis Etienne from Clemson. You know, they really don't have that number one receiver. I think, you know, you can have a duo with Myles Gaskins and Travis Etienne, and eventually give it off to Travis Etienne to have the, you know, that number one role and be that guy right there for Miami. And, you know, get another weapon there. For Tua, you got a receiver, now you got a running back. Pretty looking good, giving Tua some weapons. Next, the Buccaneers are now on the clock, and I have them going inside offensive lineman. I'm going to have them going Elijah Vera-Tucker from USC. Get him inside the offensive line, help that out. You got your tackles, you got, you know, just get that one more smart spot. And Elijah Vera-Tucker to really help out Tom Brady as he does age. Now next, the Colts are now on the clock, and I think I'm going to go Kyle Trask. Obviously, Philip Rivers isn't the answer. You know, they only signed him for 1 year, so this gives them flexibility to see what they want to do at quarterback. If they maybe want to resign him and let Kyle Trask play behind Philip Rivers, or, you know, maybe just put Kyle Trask in there right away. You know, then you got your quarterback of the future there for Kyle Trask, and see if that works out. And, you know, maybe it does. Next, the Cleveland Browns are on the clock. They could go linebacker. They could go, you know, edge rusher, put next to Myles Garrett. But I do have them taking who do I have? I had them taking Jay Tafule, inside defensive lineman from USC. I don't think Olivier Vernon is the guy. I don't know if he plays edge or if he plays inside. I think he plays both. But get yourself an inside defensive lineman. Get pressure from the inside, and then you have Myles Garrett coming from the outside. I think that's going to give you a pretty good defensive line right there. Next, the New York Jets are on the clock with their second pick, and I think you got to go cornerback. I mean, you let go of like one of your probably best cornerback. You let him go because he wasn't playing the best. You know, your best cornerback wasn't playing the best. That's bad. You know, get Eric Stokes here and get yourself a pretty good cornerback. Now, the Jacksonville Jaguars are now on the clock once again with their second pick in the first round. They got their they got their quarterback of the future. Now, go ahead and get your offensive tackle. They got Jawan Taylor. You know, whatever you want to do, or put Rashawn Slater at the left or right side. Get yourself some protection for Justin Fields. Yes, he is mobile, but he's still trying to protection, you know, at the there. Next, the Tennessee Titans are now on the clock, and you know, I do honestly have them reaching, just, you know, have them reaching with Aziz, have him at the edge. They need an edge. Dave County hasn't been playing the best, and I think he's injured right now. So get yourself a future edge rusher, and I think he'd be pretty solid for you guys. And you know, maybe gotta reach a little bit. You know? So basically, like, my camera stopped working for some reason, but I'll get that fixed. It should be fixed in the next video because, you know, I kind of need my face cam. But we're just gonna go with this audio for the rest of the way. So let's go with the Buffalo Bills next. I mean, they can go a lot of options here. They can go cornerback and maybe Shaun Wade. You know, they could possibly go running back, linebacker. They can even go offensive tackle. But right here, they could possibly go with Shaun Wade here from Ohio State. And I think with the players available, honestly, I think that makes the most sense. But they can go inside offensive line. But honestly, I think they're going to reach a little bit. Give them Shaun Wade, cornerback from Ohio State. You know, put him next to Tre'Davious White. You got yourself a pretty good cornerback situation right there. Next, the Green Bay Packers are now on the clock. I mean, you know, finally, you know, give Aaron Rodgers his weapon, and Terrace Marshall Jr. from LSU, second LSU receiver off the board, and right there for Green Bay Packers is going to be a nice pickup. Next, the Steelers are now on the clock, and I will have them going off to I will have them going off to tackle. Now, when it comes to these offensive tackles, I don't know too much about them, but I'm going to have Alex Leatherwood go here to the Steelers, get him off to tackle. Obviously, all their tackles are becoming a little bit older, and, you know, get that future protection for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger and whoever's the quarterback next up. Now, the Saints are on the board, and I will be having them going linebacker and Zaven Collins from Tulsa right there, and get themselves a linebacker. And the Kansas City Chiefs, I have them going inside offensive line, Wyatt Davis, to end off my mock draft. So let's just go ahead and go through this just pretty quickly. I know I went through that fast, but I mean, we're kind of at the end of the mock draft. It gets a little uninterested when you get down over here. But obviously, you have the New York Jets going Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Penei Sewell, Patrick Surtain, Gregory Rousseau, Michael Parsons, Kwity Paye, Jamar Chase, Caleb Farley, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, Trey Lance, Samuel Cosme, Christian Darrisaw, Kyle Pitts, Zach Wilson, Joseph Asai, Rashad Bateman, Jeremiah Owusu-Karamoah, J.C. Horn, Travis Etienne, Elijah Vera Tucker, Kyle Trask, Jay Tafule, Eric Stokes, Rashawn Slater, Aziz, Shaun Wade, Terrace Marshall, Alex Leatherwood, Zaven Collins, then Wyatt Davis, and that is my mock draft. This is my NFL. This is my 2021 NFL mock 2.0. So that's gonna do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll be bringing another video on Friday or Thursday, depends when I'll be able to post it. Really depends, because I might have school tomorrow, I might not due to snow. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.